I saw barge haulers, real barge haulers, and nothing more. You can't help but think you are indebted, truly indebted, to the people. I've shown many realist paintings from the 19th century that show the living and working conditions of the working class. I've made videos on Courbet, Millet, Bellows, Brendekilde, but the only video I did on Ilya Repin was on Ivan the Terrible and his son, Ivan. It's a beautiful painting, but it doesn't illustrate the realism which would launch Repin's career. The painting that did that, his first professional painting, according to Repin, is Barge Haulers on the Volga. Thank you so much to my 15 new patrons. I've never had so many patrons in a week, meaning you broke the record for the 4th week in a row. If you want to join all these incredibly generous people for $1 or more per month, you can appear in the credits at the end of every video. That's 25 cents per video or $12 per year. It really helps out. Also, check out our Discord server. The link is in the description. Barge haulers, or burlakis, were men and women pulling boats upstream with the sheer force of their bodies. Often landless peasants, burlakis were, as you may expect, extremely impoverished. Repin first encountered barge haulers in 1868 and would later spend an entire summer in Samara, Russia, next to the Volga River, to meet these workers. These models for this painting are actual burlakis, men who pulled boats against the current. They make for a great painting. There is an incredible depth to it, from the first worker to the last, to the sailboat, and, in the far distance, a steamboat, depicting the eventual obsolescence of their work. There's a tension in the painting solely because of the subject matter. The men are leaning forward, held back by straps on their chests, all tied to a massive boat in the distance. These are 11 men dressed in torn rags, weighed down by the sun and their exhaustion, tied to the boat they're pulling, doing the same work and with the same dignity of cattle pulling a plow. The man in the foreground, a defrocked priest named Canon, stands out not only as some sort of leader, but also because of his blank and objectless stare. The man in the back seems to be struggling more than the others. We can't see his face. His posture seems more defeated than any other burlaki. There's also the young man, lighter than the rest of his fellow workers, standing strong, moving the strap compressed against his chest, and in this moment of immobility, we're wondering what he's doing. Is he strong, full of energy because, through a feeling of revolt, he's taking off the belt, emancipating himself, thinking he will not end up like the men around him? Or is he strong and pale because he just started? He's not taking off the belt, he's readjusting it. He's uncomfortable with it because, well, it might be his first day. It would explain why he isn't worn out, why he's not completely exhausted. We could look into each and every one of these men one by one, but their misery, exhaustion, and poverty is what binds them all together. There's a sense of solidarity, not only in the fact that they're working shoulder to shoulder, but in the fact that they live and experience the same oppressing conditions. You can tell they live these same conditions because these conditions leave traces on their skin, their posture, and their clothes. Finally, I want to look at this man. This man, even though you may not have noticed him at first, makes this painting unforgettable. He does it by the simple act of looking at us. This stare engages or even confronts the viewer with their own relationship to these workers. I saw barge haulers, real barge haulers, and nothing more. You can't help but think you are indebted, truly indebted, the people. This is a quote about this painting by Fyodor Dostoevsky. There's an undeniable class element to this painting. The men on the sailboat, probably merchants, are being pulled like a horse pulling a carriage by peasants in rags. These peasants and their misery, their back-breaking labor, not only allow these merchants to travel on the river, but they also allow the upper class of Russia to eat, to clothe themselves, and to live. Dostoevsky understood that, and so did Repin. This worker looking at the viewer, an upper-class viewer, is confronting. He's not challenging the viewer knowingly, but there's the idea that the viewer has to struggle with the fact that they benefit from his suffering. A human suffering. One that can lift its head and look straight into your eyes. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you Axel, Mike Wex, Roman Brandel, X Towns, and all my other patrons for supporting the channel. If you also want to help out, leave a like, subscribe, and check out patreon.com/thecanvas. Thank you.